Good morning, everybody. We're back for more. This is part 3 on how to make a neck through base. Yesterday we glued up the neck blank, so we have here the 3-piece maple neck. This glue has dried under clamping pressure all night long. So first thing in the morning we're going to go ahead and take these clamps off and move forward with the neck blank. After years of using these clamps and the occasional spritzing with WD-40, they get really dirty on these threads, so I just put these gloves on because it'll turn your hands black if you touch the threads. It doesn't really matter which side you start unclamping on, just get the clamps off. That's the main idea. This video, by the way, in case you're wondering and watching, it is reversed image. These aren't reverse threaded clamps. I'm actually turning counterclockwise. It shows up to you in this video as clockwise, so don't let that confuse you. Alright, so here's our neck blank. Our next step is to level the top where the headstock is, and the back that will eventually receive what we're going to call the tone block. We'll also do some marks up here on the headstock, cut this level, and then level the back. I'll explain that to you in just a sec. So let's walk over to the jointer now. This is where we do the majority of the leveling on the fingerboard side of the instrument of the neck. Let's see, let me get my eye protection. Let's see. Okay, that was what I was looking for, was my remote. All right. So first thing we'll do, we'll kick on the dust collector. that is a nice level surface now. It went from looking really crude to pretty nice. Now the headstock side, I'm going to handle that on the edge sander. Sometimes I can do that on the jointer, but when my back is not up to 100%, which is definitely the case, I don't want to put that much strain because it does take a very strong foundation, which is not happening right now. So we're going to go to the edge sander. We're going to open up this garage because we're about to make a lot of dust fly around in here. Let me set this down for a sec. And we're just going to go over the top of that headstock and get a nice level surface and just define that. Looks like I need to clean the belt off first. So we've got just a couple little spots. Again, I mentioned yesterday my jointer is a little finicky. Because of that, that's going to be where fingerboard is going to be. I'm going to level this portion of the neck, just hit it real quick on this edge sander, and take care of that. Sometimes you gotta go with the flow. Okie dokie. I'm going to shut the garage real quick. Actually, you know what? While I'm here and making dust, I'm going to go ahead and level the back of this. Now, I want to show you a difficulty that the back angle of the headstock presents. Normally, if I was going to take off a bunch of material like this and level this, I would say run it over the jointer. The problem is, once I get to about right here, the angle of the headstock kicks in and keeps me from running this flat over the table on the jointer, so I can't do that. So my only option, at least in this shop space, is to use the edge sander. And I'm just going to level off this back portion right here, because this is going to be the spot of the neck where the tone block is glued later on in the build. So let's do that real quick. This is another one of those dust making steps in the process. I have the dust collector on, but it doesn't seem to do much good on in this machine. So hey, what can you do? Here we go. I'm covered in dust. Walk with me over to my main bench. We're going to make some very important marks on this neck. I'm just covered in dust. It's amazing. I'm going to blow off here. Where's my thing? Turn this on. have our leveled neck blank, what we're going to do now is make some very some very careful measurements, because there's one cut I need to make up on this end of the headstock, and then one little touch on the back here leveling, and then that'll be the end of this video. So this mark is measuring the centerpiece. 24 millimeters is what I have on this one. That's a pretty common width for a centerpiece for a 5-string, at least for my builds. I like to use even numbers, 24 millimeters, 22. That's pretty easy to split. So I'm going to mark 12 and 12. Draw that line. And at the very end of the headstock end here, I'm going to make a perfectly straight line. Now I'm going to cut this on the bandsaw, and then we're going to level the back of this so that this has a nice flat surface to sit on when it comes time to route channels into this neck blank. We want our blank to sit flat, right, perpendicular to a wall beside it and exactly parallel to the tabletop, so that when we're putting a bit into this thing, we're not adding any angle to the equation. Does that make sense? So we want to get these backing surfaces very level. So we're going to go to the bandsaw, and then one more time to that dusty edge sander. Walk with me, will you? Just a touch on the edge sander. Now we have a flat backside, and we have a level backside here. Alright, that concludes part 3. Next we're going to make all the crucial marks on the neck and take it one step further. Thanks for watching.